Okay, Rachel.
But I get it. That's funny.
Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal was fired from teaching her job over having an OnlyFans account. Now, if y'all remember Rachel Dolezal, she was the white woman that thought she was black, that had the NAA, that was over the NAACP in her town.
Oh,
It
okay.
says Rachel Dolezal has lost her teaching job after her explicit pictures from her OnlyFans began making rounds on social media. Miss Dolezal, once an African studies professor in Washington State, the head of the Spokane chapter of the NAACP, became infamous after she was exposed for pretending to be a light-skinned black woman, achieving the look by getting perms and spray tans.
She could have played it off as biracial too.
No, her parents came forward and said she's white. Two white parents. She had disappeared into relative obscurity until now.
Maybe she should go on a Bill Gates show and go a little further. Maybe she'll get lucky and find some black blood.
Yeah, in her heritage. You know
You
what?
know,
If she had,
Professor Gates show.
Yeah.
Where he does it.
yeah. There you go. She may find a 1%. Sarah on the View.
Yeah.
She found a percentage of her background being black.
She has a new
We
name.
teased her about it.
She has a new name now, and I can't pronounce it's African. Diallo something. Nikikia or something. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
After changing her name in 2017, she began to teach at Catalina Foothills Unified School District in Arizona in August of 2023. The school district recently fired her after they found out she had an OnlyFans page where she would like dress nude or dress like provocative and stuff like that. Now, this brings the question. Do you think teachers should be fired if they have an OnlyFans account?
I'm thinking, how did people get to that page? How did they get to it?
Somebody you have to pay for it.
Oh, because somebody found her out. No, you know what? They be firing a lot of teachers.
Not unless it's something inappropriate on it.
Right.
No, if you pose, let's say you pose nude and you're a teacher, should you be fired?
No. Of course, it's inappropriate.
For students
if it's not inappropriate, I don't see any harm in it. But if she's posting nude pictures, I mean, come on. So it's inappropriate.
So if you have nude pictures on a website that people have to pay to come to be your fan, and you're a teacher, people would say then you should be fired for stuff you do in your personal life as a teacher.
If it doesn't
affect, you know what? That's not uncommon. That's not uncommon. Many jobs hold you responsible for your character outside of the job as well, especially in corporate.
I think once
if you're out there acting like a lunatic and making the company look bad, you can be fired for that. I remember my pastor said, hey, y'all, he said, if you're going to wear your jackets with the church name on it, please don't go in the bar. Please don't do that. So it makes a difference what you do outside. A lot of jobs hold you accountable for that, especially when it comes to social media.
Now, some people would say if it's her showing provocative pictures, what does that have to do if she's not wearing the school's name or anything? What does that have to do with her representing the school? And if it was illegal,
a smart student can get in there and see all that. You know, some of these tech students, they know she's got a page. They know what's on it. They're going to find her because they're tech smart. So it puts her in it's like the Bible says, have no appearance of evil. No appearance.
I'm playing
because when
you
have an appearance of evil, it messes up your witness. And when you have an appearance of evil and you're a teacher, it messes up your ability to reach people who looks up to you. That's my opinion.
I'm playing devil's advocate. First of all, if it's not illegal, it's your Christian standards that's saying that it's bad. That's not.
But it's not illegal to smoke pot either. What's she gonna go in there and smoke a joint? It's not illegal in a lot of states.
So if you smoke, so you just brought up a point. So if you smoke marijuana in your house as a teacher,
that's different.
What does that have to do with you being a teacher?
That's different though.
How?
Because she put herself in a position where the whole world has access to what she's doing, including her students. It's an appearance of evil.
Okay, Lenora.
Aside from the appearance of evil, because everybody don't go with the Bible when it comes to that. So I see what Kim's saying. We as Christians,
they don't have to go with it. Guess what?
No.
Let me finish.
Let me finish, Wendy. Let me finish. A lot of times I think for her problem was, if you're doing it in the house, private, you could be having all kinds of weird stuff going on in your home. Nobody knows. The moment you put it on social media, it's open to everybody to see it, whether they got to pay for it, whether they got to search for it. And then I guess, I don't know what the book code is for teachers, educators. You can jump in there if you want to. I know they're held at a higher standard when they're using social media.
So devil's advocate. I'm smoking marijuana on my Facebook page. Mm-hmm. Okay. Marijuana is legal. Okay. Or I'm out at a restaurant and I'm having a drink. Alcohol is legal. What's the difference?
There is no difference, because you could get drunk and be a bad influence.
Not drunk.
And as far as an appearance of evil, Lenore, I know that's what Christians say. That's in the Christian Bible. But the thing of it is, they don't know that, but it still stands true. So whether they know it or believe it or not, it still stands true.
The reason why
it hinders you. It hinders you.
Let me finish though.
Whether you know that or not.
Let me make my comment on that though.
I didn't finish my statement.
No.
I didn't finish
No. Here's the thing. You and I and other Bible study people and Christians can say, we have different interpretations of the scripture itself, because you can say what the appearance of evil is,
nothing to do with
and I can say what the appearance of evil. So we don't need to even talk about that.
Let me read what
everybody has different opinions, but the appearance of evil is.
Because you don't know what the truth is, that doesn't make it not stand true.
Let me read what everybody's saying, because y'all didn't went off on something else.
If you break the law, you can't say, "Oh, I didn't know that was against the law."
Scripture.
Okay, let me read
that
this.
has to apply to the whole world, but the whole world may not know about it.
Let me read this. Justice for All says, "Hello, ladies," because I'm moving on because we're not talking about Rachel. Emerald says, shaking my head, she always making Washington State look bad. We really need to pay our educators better wages. She isn't the only teacher doing this. That's kind of my point, Emerald. Right. I'll get back to it. Actually, I'm going to make my point after this, which is staying on this. And that's one of my points. Justice says, sadly, she probably did more than a lot of other NAACP leaders here in Washington State.
Yeah.
Only fired, they allow students access. Mm-hmm. Was it a private or public school?
Right.
Emerald says it's illegal federally. So jobs can require no use on grounds of this alone, regardless of the state law. Right. That's a good point.
Yep.
Monica, maybe when it becomes legal all the way around.
Yeah.
Monica says, have a good evening, ladies. Y'all great job. See you on Monday. And Emerald says, alcohol is legal federally. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. Mm-hmm. If marijuana becomes legal all around the United States.
Like alcohol,
there is no difference of somebody smoking a joint on their Facebook or sitting and having a drink on their Facebook. If they're teacher, whatever they are. Hold on, Wendy. Hold on. Let me make my point and then y'all can talk. And both of y'all stay on this. If you drink on camera where people can see you and you are a teacher, I didn't say drunk. I said a drink. And you smoke, take a puff of marijuana. If marijuana becomes legal all around the states, to me, in my opinion, it's the same. They're both drugs. Alcohol is just as much of a drug as marijuana is. Now, the same thing with this OnlyFans thing and pornography and dressing in skimpy clothes and all these other things that people say a teacher can't do that. We have got to stop trying to put Christian principles on everybody if you're going to make it legal. If OnlyFans is legal, then she's not doing anything illegal. If she's not showing a student or her school or wearing the name of her school or anything like that, it is not illegal. So now you can have character clauses when you sign to come onto a company.
Right.
they gotta spell that out in the clause that you sign. Say, I don't want you doing any drinking. I don't care if you drunk. I don't care if it's legal. Right. I don't want no pornography. I don't want you dressing skimpy. Right. I don't want none of that. And you got to go to church every Sunday. Now, you want to sign this and work here? If you do that, then I agree. Right. Then you can fire the person because they're doing something ethically that they signed up saying they wouldn't do. Right. Now, I don't know what her contract. That was a very good point Justice said. Is it a private school or a public school? Right. A private school might have that clause in it saying you can't do pornography and stuff like that. So that's the point. If you guys are going to make a comment, stay on this. Right. All right. Now,
that's a good point, though. You're right. Because it does depend on, most of the time, your school teachers are held to a higher level of accountability and how they're using their social media. Yes. Because even with our sorority, we can't be wearing our letters holding alcohol. We can't hold alcohol bottles with our letters on. And they're real clear on that. So if they're doing that to a sorority and a fraternity, I'm knowing a teacher, if she's doing things on social media that is risque and sexual and whatever, and that's in her clause as a teacher, they do have the right to say, you got to go.
And Emerald just said the same thing. Do they have a moral clause during the hiring process? That's the only question that I have with this. Other than that, the kids she's teaching are 4. They're not going to be on OnlyFans.
Surprise.
Now, maybe high school teachers might have to sign a different kind of clause because their kids actually have access to social media and could go to OnlyFans. Right. So it just depends. I don't think it's cut and dry, and I don't think that we need to put what we think is moral and not moral out on people. If you don't like pornography, if you think it should be illegal, then you should advocate for it to be illegal. Other than that, it's legal.
May I say something?
Yeah.
It's a judgment call, in my opinion, because if I'm the parent, whether it's legal, not legal, right, wrong, drunk or sober, if I'm a parent, I'm looking at you saying you have poor judgment, you are not a wise person. That's my opinion. Right. And so you put yourself in harm's way. And when I said there's appearance of evil, I didn't expect everybody that doesn't read the Bible to know that. But the thing of it is, the reason why things are wrong is because God knows if you do this, it's going to cause you problems. He says, don't lie. Everybody knows the Bible says don't lie. But if you do lie, it's going to cause you problems, whether you believe in God or not. So,
but that has nothing to do with her posing in OnlyFans.
My last line is, in my opinion, it's a judgment call, and as a parent, I would not want her teaching my kid.
Okay, so yours would be more on that. As a parent, that's what you think. Mine is more on legally. Can you fire her? Can you fire her for doing something that is not illegal?
Well, no, you also went a step further.
It's not by legal. The unemployment agency that the company doesn't need a reason to fire you.
Yeah.
I was told by the unemployment agency that the company doesn't need a reason to fire you. They can fire you just because they want to.
Not every job is like that. Some jobs you have to have a reason.
No, not every job. Not every job.
Do I need to pull this up? I mean, seriously, do I have to take time to pull this up?
What do you mean every job can fire you because a lot of people have fought back when they were fired because of social media.
You can go to places and people fire you and you can sue.
You can sue.
For unlawful discharge.
Yes, of course you can sue. You can sue, of course.
And you can win.
Because they are
you can win, because I've done it. I have done it. I have done it. Got a couple $1,000s from it.
It says right here, which is what I just said, in most circumstances. That's what I'm saying, what you're saying. In most circumstances, not all circumstances, employers can terminate employees at will, meaning at any time for any reason. And they are not even required by law to give the reason for the discharge. That's what you're talking about.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. The unemployment agency told me that.
Yes.
Because I was complaining I got fired from a job. I got into a conflict. And they told me, they don't need a reason to fire you.
Yes.
We don't need one.
It says, and this is where I come in. At some states, it says, except Montana, they allow at-will employment. This means that an employer or employee can end the employment at any time for any reason. However, the reason for the termination cannot be illegal. You can't fire me for being black.
Okay.
You can't fire me for being anything that's illegal. Any discrimination. Okay.
Your sex, your race, your sexual orientation.
Yes.
Those right there, the government covers you.
Yeah.
That's what we meant by that when we say you just can't fire somebody.
Right.
Because back in the day, in my mom's days, they fired you because you was black.
Yeah.
And we don't like that.
Right.
You have the option to fight back, and you should fight back.
Oh, God, yeah.
So maybe in this incident, Wendy, the parents might have been like you, where they said, I don't want an OnlyFans woman teaching my child. And so the school had to come and say, the parents don't want you here. There's probably nothing illegal about us getting rid of you because the parents don't want you here. Wow. Just like that parent that had the...
And when your parents... You have to take that in consideration. This person with your child, like 6 hours a day, every day, 365.
Yeah.
You want to be careful.
Yeah.
They're influencing.
Let's see. Emerald says, desperate people do desperate things. Today's economy is pushing the boundaries. I agree. They need to pay teachers more, and then they wouldn't have to do stuff like this.
How many stories have we brought up with educators being let go for less than this?
Yes, right.
Saying certain things. Like they even get the parents. I think parents are upset that the teachers can't tell the parent if your child's coming to school with a different name.
Right, okay.
Or all kinds of things. Like we just talked about one got fired yesterday because she was doing this to the kids. Bang, you're dead. The principal. I'm like, okay.
Justice says, that's why I love unions.
Wow.
Unions do come and stand up. You can't just fire somebody.
Yeah.
All right.
You're part of one, you know.
Yep. All right, so I'm skipping past these stories.